And whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Hi, my name is eXyu. I'm also known as Lawrence. I'm 22 years old and I play jungle for Dignitas LCS.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, Lawrence. I hope you're having a good day.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's kind of start with where did your username come from?
Okay, so my username came from my brother. I actually really like the name Levi because it was a nickname I got in basketball in middle school. And I wanted that name, but there was actually a professional jungler who already has that name, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
So I had to find a different name, and then my brother was like, "Oh, eXyu is cool. It's like our last name, which is like the letters X and U, but it's like a cooler way to spell it, I guess."
Okay,
so
that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of
cool
repping the family. So.
Yeah, no, that's actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
So Levi, you said, so you used to play basketball?
Okay, so I played a lot of different sports, but also because I skipped 2 grades when I was younger. So I was in 8th grade. I was literally like 11 years old and maybe 4'7". So I was,
gotcha.
You know, I was there for like just the participation. But it was my first time doing organized sports in that sense, and we had a photo shoot, and I pulled up in jeans, and everyone else was wearing like basketball shorts and stuff, and I was wearing jeans. I was like, oh. And then I kind of got the nickname Levi from that. I actually liked it. It's cool. And then,
so like Levi.
Yeah, like the jeans. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's so dope.
Yeah.
That's actually super dope. I thought it was coming from. Isn't there like an anime where the main character?
Okay, it's crazy because that's like my girlfriend's favorite anime character.
Oh my
god. Which I found out down the line, you know. But like,
it's just tied in.
Yeah.
Absolutely everywhere. When did you start playing League? I
started in season 2, so I think it was either 6th or 7th grade. I like played for the very first time in 6th grade, but I didn't really care to play that much. It was just like I learned the game, and then 7th grade I started playing more serious, and then in 8th grade I hit Diamond, and I was like, oh shit, like I'm kind of good at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then as I was in high school, my parents were like, yo, you gotta like focus on school, focus on real life, and like kind of stepped away from it until senior year of high school. And then they had this thing which was HSCL. It was like a high school league, and I had a lot of friends who played, and we were like, it's our senior year, like school's not that serious, let's just do this, and kind of fell in love with it again and played in college, and then yeah.
That's dope. So kind of going back to the parent thing, how hard was it to convince your parents like, hey, I want to take this for serious?
That was crazy. I mean, honestly, I have to give so much props to my brother for that. He was really the one who was like, you gotta commit, you know, you can't be doing like both of these things and like half-assing it. There was one night, literally out of the blue, I was like really frustrated with my CS project, so I was like talking to him about it, and we just ended up staying up all night talking about like life and deeper shit. Then it got to the point where in the morning I woke up, I was like, Mom and Dad, I'm dropping out, and that was it.
Oh,
and then and it was crazy too, because I said that at like 9 a.m. and then I left to go see my girlfriend for the whole day because I was gonna spend the day with her. So I just dropped a bomb on them and left.
Oh my god.
When I came home, it was just like, my mom was so mad. Like, she didn't talk to me for a week. Like, we don't live in a big house either. She just ignored me for a week. And my dad was just like, the whole time he's like, are you sure? Like, this is really crazy. But yeah, it was a scary time for sure.
I mean, yeah, I totally get it from their standpoint because it's such a new thing now, you know? Like, how long did it take for your mom to come around then?
Honestly, after the week, she was more like, okay, you know what? If you're gonna do this, I'm gonna support you. Like, no matter what you do, I gotta be there for you.
Okay.
Even if she, you know, for a long time, she did think what I was doing was really dumb. She's like, I cannot believe you're doing this, but I'll try to support you anyway.
Yeah.
It wasn't really I think it wasn't until I went to Academy that she was like, whoa, because then she like watched the Twitch streams and there's like thousands of viewers, and she's like, wow, this is really cool. And then my first experience subbing in for Lock-In for LCS, she saw that and she's like, wow, there's like tens of thousands of people watching. It's just gotten better from there. And then recently, you know, when I debuted in LCS for the first time in summer last year, she came down and watched, and she was super supportive. And then this year, her and my dad have been really engaged in it. Like, they came down for playoffs, they came down for the 4th week also. It was just really nice to have them there.
Oh my gosh, I love that for you. That's actually super awesome. And yeah, I think I remember you saying in your like post-game interview at playoffs that like your parents were in the crowd, and you said, maybe if y'all don't come, I win. And I was like, dang. Yeah. What year was it when you officially made that transfer into like professional?
As soon as I dropped out, actually, that was like November, maybe October-ish of 2019, I think. I'm trying to get my dates right.
No, you're good.
I think it's 2020. October 2020, I dropped out, and I like really grinded for solo queue, and then I actually made it looking for team post, and I got an offer from Jack from C9. And which was awesome.
Creme de la creme.
It was actually insane. Like, I remember that's probably one of the most exciting days of my life.
Aww.
ever because I was just like, this guy even knows who I am. Like, he knows I exist. And he actually was originally going to get me for C9 Academy, just that split right away. But then obviously the Oceanic League disbanded and they all became residents. So then C9 went with a different route with like Fire and King and a bunch of OS players. So then I went to amateur for a year. And then the year after that, I went to Dig Academy.
That's super dope, especially like Cloud9. Like, look at you.
Yeah,
you did...
that day was crazy. I was like jumping around. Like, it was so exciting. I got the DM. I was just constantly refreshing. As soon as I responded, I was like,
right,
this is crazy.
Talk to me about pro play now then. What is it like being a string one, like professional player? Like you're on stage now.
Yeah, it's definitely completely different. When you're going through the system, you're like, you know, I could be an LCS player. Like these guys aren't even that good. And then you go to stage and you're like, okay, it's different for sure. Like it's not the same league. Like it doesn't even matter. Like you can beat them in scrims, you can beat them in solo queue. None of that really matters when you go to stage because it's like, wow, these guys, like you can't really make mistakes. You gotta be really sharp. I think especially this year with the jungle pool, I really think like there's so many good junglers in the league right now, and definitely for me it was like, all right, I'm gonna try to climb my way up slowly, but I gotta know where I'm starting, you know? Like these guys have years of experience, it's my first year, like it's gonna be an uphill battle.
So you were talking about the jungle pool is pretty competitive. So who do you think is your biggest competition? Okay,
I think my biggest competition would probably be, does that mean like who I think is the best in the league or who I think is like next up on my list? Like who I need to pass?
Let's do all three. So who do you think is the best jungler in LCS right now?
I think the best jungler is River. A lot of people have this idea that Inspired's the best, but I really think Inspired plays like so cookie cutter. And I think for me at least when I play against him, I don't ever feel like I'm losing to him. I always feel like we get in really good situations, especially against FlyQuest, and then we make rookie mistakes or like do dumb things that ruin our game. But we always put ourselves in positions that are like 100% winning. Like we could easily close this out. But playing against River is it's a whole different story.
Yeah, is he more unpredictable?
That guy's crazy. Like, he's so merciless that it's like there's some amount of like mental block playing against him because like he just has no mercy, you know? Like he'll sit in a bush for a minute, he'll do something stupid. Like he had that one game where he literally just walked in through bot try to enemy bot side and just started there. Like he's just on a mission, he doesn't really care.
Oh wow.
And I think that makes him really hard to play against because it's hard to tell what he wants to do. But with Inspired, it's always like, you know, this guy's gonna go for optimal plays a lot of the time, so it's easy to kind of predict where he's going. And if his laners make mistakes, it's easy for me to punish.
Do you think that Inspired's cookie cutter playstyle is the reason why FlyQuest is #1 in the league right now? Yeah,
I mean, I think what he does really well is he always puts himself in winning situations, but they're like 55-45s, I would say. And then he's just mechanically really talented, so he's able to capitalize on those 55-45s a lot. I would say on the other hand, like River, his team isn't really capable of winning 55-45 situations, so they have to go for the big plays. Yeah, I think that's what makes him really good. Like, I feel like if you swapped River and Inspired, 100 Thieves would be a lot worse, just because I don't think Inspired can play to that play style. But I think River enables his rookies to go crazy because he's just like, if it's chaotic, make it even more chaotic. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. That's really good insight, honestly. I never thought of it like that. So then who would you say is like in your class type of deal for a jungler, like your biggest competition?
Honestly, I think it's disrespectful to put Blabber in my class just because I think he has a legacy of being so good, but I really think this split he was underperforming a lot. So I would put Inspired and River in like S tier, and I would honestly say I'm in contention with like Contracts, Boogie, and Blabber. And then I think Armao is like one tier below.
He's not touching you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I feel like playing against Armao is like playing against like a worse Inspired. Like he always goes for like very cookie cutter plays, but he's not able to capitalize on them, or he'll make the mistake first a lot of the times. It really feels like zero pressure when I play against him. Yeah, there's a lot of other junglers who it's like, I feel like with Contracts, you know, he's solid. He's just pretty solid, and I think Blabber is really good when he's good, but this split he was kind of underperforming.
I think we all kind of saw like, not the downfall of C9, but we definitely saw like a worse C9 split. They're normally top 3, top 2.
Oh yeah.
But
in the off season when we saw that roster, it was like, they're gonna be first. You know, like that's crazy.
Exactly. And tomorrow they're gonna lose to Team Liquid. So
Are you a TL fan?
I am a huge TL. I've seen C9 in first place for like however long. Like they're always the top contender. I think it gets kind of boring seeing the same person win. And everybody loves an underdog story, right? Yeah. And I feel like this year is definitely that. Like you've got FlyQuest, we've got Team Liquid. I would love to see them top 3. I think it would be great. Yeah. What do you think went wrong this split?
I think a lot of things went wrong. I think we definitely needed to do more activities as a team and become more of a team. I think a lot of the times we kind of spoke about this team being like a family, but the reality was that like, it was a family in the sense that we're always there for each other, but like a lot of families, it was really dysfunctional.
Gotcha.
So like my mid doesn't really speak English, and that was a problem that we knew going into it, but it really, I would say it really didn't improve at all during the split, and that was a big issue. I think he himself is also a rather quiet person in general, I think, even if he spoke the language. So yeah, we would go like full scrim days where he would probably say like 5 words the entire day, and it was pretty difficult. I think we definitely had motivation issues. We had issues with our scrims. Like we had a lot of issues that I think are important for us to fix this offseason. And yeah, I think for me, a big part of it is like culture. I think culture kind of embodies like everything that I've kind of mentioned, and I really think our team culture needs to be better.
Okay. And do you see yourself making steps to improve that culture this next summer split?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've always kind of felt that I've been able to be a leader, and I think it is my fault that I didn't take on more of a role in this split. I think being my rookie split, I was kind of really focused on myself, and I think the first half of the split, when I was performing really well, I was really confident, and I felt like I was doing a good job leading the team, and then we went into the break, and we had a very disastrous break, and it did a lot to my self-confidence and my gameplay. So then after the break, it was definitely a lot harder. I think our team kind of fell apart, and I definitely let the team down in terms of like leadership and like gameplay. So
we're rooting for you. We're rooting for you in this next split. I hope to see y'all in playoffs again.
Yeah.
Hopefully a little top 3. I really want y'all to throw like a whole wrench in the whole system.
Yeah.
Like Dignitas first place. What's going on? Like I want to see that so freaking bad. So we're rooting for you over here.
Thank you.
Now I do remember you saying something about like scrim time not being at what it's supposed to be. What does the life of a pro player look like for you right now in terms of like where you dedicate your time?
I'll just give you like the day in the life kind of schedule. I think for me, it's like wake up at 9:30, shower, get ready, and we have to be downstairs by 10 o'clock.
Okay.
10 o'clock, we usually have a little bit of a meeting. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes it's just to like make sure we're awake. I think our food comes around 10:30. We all eat. Scrim start at 11. We scrim from 11 to 2, pretty standard. And then 2 to 3, there's a break. Usually I would try to go outside, walk around, try to like
get some air.
Well, just
touch some grass.
I think it really does it's a big benefit for my mental to like go outside and kind of look around and be like, okay, like life still goes on. You know, you had a bad scrim set or whatever, like everything moves on, and then come back 3 to 6, do another scrim block, and then usually there's a little bit of a decompress, like we talk about the day or whatever, and then dinner will come. By then it's probably like 7:30, and usually people will rest for like half an hour, chill for a bit, and then from like 8 to midnight, 8 to 1, grind solo queue again, and then run it back the next day.
Jesus Christ, y'all play League all day.
Yeah.
All day.
It's crazy.
Is there any team that Dignitas has beef with, or like y'all are like in a little, y'all been exchanging some words undercover or anything? Any type of team?
I think mostly TL.
Team Liquid.
Yeah, well, I know going into it, obviously we lost, so that's unfortunate, but I personally am not a big fan of Yon. I just,
really?
Yeah, I think he just annoys me a lot. I love Umpty. Actually, that Umpty is such a character, and he's amazing. But yeah, Yon just annoys me, mostly from his solo queue habits, and I think it's not even like, I think if we talked in person, it'll be fine. That's how it is with a lot of people, but I think from his solo queue habits, he doesn't have the great personality, in my opinion. So yeah, and APA had some beef with Tomo over a solo queue game.
APA got beef with everybody.
Yeah. You know, APA is a yapper. Honestly, like, I kind of grew up in the scene with him, so it's cool to see him make it and it's cool to see him succeed, but damn, he's a yapper. And it's good for him, because I feel like that is his personality, but like, it does really make everyone want to beat him. It's like, damn, like, if I could just shut him up, like, that'd be nice.
Back to Yun. Is Yun typing in all chat during these games?
Yeah, Yon is, no, oh, not in all chat in competitive games, but in solo queue, he is an extreme typer.
Really?
Yeah. He's definitely mellowed out recently, but my past experiences with him have been really bad, so I'm not a fan of him.
Is this you on his team, or he's on the enemy?
It's like both. And just like the history of what I know about him from like my teammates playing with him and stuff too. It's just,
I never would have guessed that. I thought he was like a cute little quiet boy, but I guess he did have that beef with Spin.
Yeah.
At one point.
Okay, I'll put it this way. I don't like him as a solo queue player, but I do respect him, because I think I actually read one of his interviews recently, and it was cool to see how he was reflecting on his growth and how he was trying to take on more responsibility, and I do think that he'll be successful. So it's not like I hate him.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
No.
It's a lot of just like, shut the hell up.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I totally get that. And that's something that I see as a streamer. Like, I'll see people will beef in game, but some of them will carry it outside of game. Like, bro,
it's not that deep.
It's not.
It really, it has to be like really serious for it to be like that.
Like, he would have to start coming for you like personal attacks type of deal before it's like that. But Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I just wanted to get that clear on the record that like you don't hate him.
Yeah, it's completely different, honestly.
Yeah.
And like, actually, a crazy one was when I first came to Dig, actually, I'm pretty sure me and Neo had a lot of beef from solo queue. And then we met in person and it was like completely chill and he's awesome and he's still friends, so.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, I hope y'all get to have like a dinner date or something one day, you know? Which lane do you think has the worst players?
Oh, support. It's not even close.
We were talking about pro players. So you said Arls is your favorite pro player like of all time or?
Some strong words. Maybe not of all time.
Okay, so who's your favorite pro player of all time?
Like,
anywhere.
Anywhere.
Global.
I really like.
What do you think was the biggest or hardest lesson that you yourself learned this split?
I think I definitely learned that I need to